I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woo! Good morning, everybody. This is Mark, Controversial Christian here. Lips still a little sore yesterday from went to the dentist. Novocaine. Got some of my teeth in the front here, worked down a little bit. But anyways, you know who I am. The man, the myth, legend in my own mind, Mark the Controversial Christian. Today's the 15th day of April, tax day. I think they extended it this year, though. And we're going to talk a little bit today about the controversy around the new Georgia tax law there. You know, people they're really in an uproar about it. So we'll get into it a little bit and we'll find out what the big deal is about it here. April 15th. Oh my God, make me happy this day in thy service. Let me do nothing, say nothing, desire nothing, which is contrary to thy will. Give me a thankful spirit and a heart full of praise for all that thou hast given me and for all thou hast withheld from me. Amen. Amen, everybody. What a beautiful day. Sun's out today. Looks like, yep, sure is. All right. How blessed is the man is our reading for today. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. That's from Romans 13:1. Most people in the United States don't look forward to April 15th. It is the most dreaded day of the year, tax day. Not only do we have to labor through the tax forms or pay someone else to do it for us, excuse me, but we have to bid farewell to a portion of our hard-earned money. And yet it would pay us well to be cheerful givers on this day, since God's will for every Christian is to be subject to the governing authorities. That's from Romans 13:1. There is always a blessing, directly or indirectly, in submitting to the will of God, even when it seems undesirable, like paying taxes. Blessed are those, Jesus said, who manifest a submissive spirit towards God as Lord in their lives, humble in spirit, mourning over sin, meek, hungering and thirsting over righteousness, merciful, pure in heart, and making peace. To obey the governing authority is just one more way of submitting to the will of God and living a blessed or happy life. On tax day or any day, find ultimate happiness by submitting to the will of God in all things. Worship is a submission of all of our nature to God. William Temple said that. Thanks, William. All right, let's talk a little bit about this controversial law in Georgia here. Let's read a little bit about it here. What happened here? Lost my place. Yeah, there we go. All right. The bill was signed on March 31st, and certain provisions will go into effect on July 1st. There will be special ballots created for nonpartisan elections. Ballots must be printed in black and white ink on security paper. A cutoff date of 11 days before a primary, general election, or runoff election for mail-in ballot applications. Okay, so they have a cutoff date for the mail-in ballots. A deadline for the issuance of absentee ballots at least 25 days before a federal primary, general election, or special election, or 22 days before a municipal general election or primary. A Georgia state driver's license, ID card, date of birth, and the last 4 digits of social security number, or another approved form of identification must be printed on the outside of the absentee ballots. Conditions for rejecting absentee ballots if certain requirements are not met. All right. Now what about the early voting? The law expands in-person voting for general elections. 2 early voting periods are required on a Saturday for each county, but optimal voting from Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, hours may be extended. In prior elections, voting began on the fourth Monday before a primary election and extended Friday before an election day. For runoff elections, voting began as soon as possible before election day. All right, so there's just maybe, a week or two. There's a little bit of, they cut that off a little bit. Okay. Some leaders of Georgia's black churches say the new schedule will affect voting after church service, so known as souls to the polls. I don't see that. Well, let's see. What do we got here? In the prior elections, it began the fourth Monday, and this one. Okay, they extended the hours. All right. Okay. Voting period for runoff elections was shortened from 9 weeks to 4 weeks. Okay, they cut that in half. All right, but this still gives people plenty of time. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. The law bans people aside from poll workers from soliciting votes or signatures from voters. Okay. Okay, they say you can't offer money or gifts, or including food or drinks, to a minor voter is prohibited. They said that they want to make it a crime to bring grandma some water while she's waiting in line. No, they have. I'm sure if there's really long lines, it says right here that they're gonna make self-service water available to voters. So they're right there. See, they're squawking about that, but yet they're making. They're also going to provide training for poll watchers. All right, they're going to have new rules for drop boxes. They're going to have an absence register. A board of registers or absentee ballot clerk may supply one drop box for absentee by mail voters at respective offices or inside advanced voting locations. Additional drop boxes are restricted to 1 per 100,000 active voters, registered voters in a county or number. The boxes are only accessible during advanced voting hours. Okay. Deadlines for tabulating absentee ballots. Election superintendents must report the returns of verified and accepted absentee ballots by 5 p.m. the day following the election day. In the event of a missed deadline, the state election board may convene to conduct an independent review. In prior elections, absentee ballots were accepted until 7 p.m. on election day. All right, so they cut that by 2 hours. The law allowed a week to finalize and certify the final votes. Okay, so they changed that because this last voting period, they had a lot of problems. They were trying to slip ballots in, afterwards. They're trying to, I think they was pulling a fast one is what it looked like. But now they're talking here about mobile voting. Voting program, the mobile voting program was launched in Fulton County, Georgia, in the Atlanta area at the end of 2020 to service voters with disabilities, according to the county's official website. The buses were also alternate to long lines. The new law restricts buses and other readily movable facilities to emergency use only. See, they're only going to use them in emergencies now. Because that cost. You got to figure that the counties like that, they're paying for these things. It's costing them a lot of money, but they're trying to serve the people the best that they can. So in case of emergency, they'll bring the buses out. County superintendents may provide portable polling facilities for a given precinct at their discretion. And there's a new role for the Georgia Secretary of State. Prior to passing the new law, the Secretary of State served as chair of the state election board. The role was demoted to an ex officio non-voting member of the board. All right. A new chairperson will be elected by the General Assembly, so they're going to elect a new chairperson. I think they probably want to keep it so that there's people are, they're trying to get in there and, influence this Secretary of State, but now they can't. They're going to vote somebody else in there. So some critics, the move allows for a Republican-controlled board to temporarily take over local election offices, according to NPR. Some critics also suggest that provision is an act of revenge against Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who would not abide by Trump's request to overturn the results of the presidential election. according to the New York Times. But that's just hearsay too. So I don't know where, I don't really see anything in here that suppresses minority voting. They're just trying to streamline it. It looks like they're just trying to streamline it a little bit. And then now they've got some of these actors and some, businesses boycotting this. Hollywood business has no business even being in politics to begin with. They're trying to use their influence to overturn some law that was passed, So maybe we should start doing that. Maybe us Republicans should start boycotting. Let's boycott Coca-Cola and one of the airline companies. Let's boycott them. And Will Smith is doing something, so let's boycott him and his movies. And let's start boycotting Hollywood. Let's quit watching their movies. And let's quit buying music from these artists that support, Joe Biden and all this Democratic stuff. Let's just have a big boycott, the whole country. Let's just start boycotting everything. How's that? We'll just stay home and we won't buy nothing. We'll grow our own food. We'll put antennas up to watch TV with. And we won't buy movies. We won't rent Netflix movies. What about that? We'll just boycott everything. That way, let's turn the TVs off. Let's boycott the TV stations. Let's boycott everything because, they're trying to boycott Jesus. They took him out of the public and everything. They boycotted him. They offended somebody. So now Coca-Cola offends me. I'm going to quit drinking Coke. I'll start drinking Pepsi or RC Cola or 7-Up. I'm not going to fly anymore. I'll drive my car. And if the car companies get involved in this too, I won't buy their car. I'll buy something else. I'll start buying Hondas or like that because the Japanese aren't in on this. We're not going to buy movies anymore. We're not going to start making these Hollywood heroes rich anymore. We'll stop buying their songs or their CDs or, we'll stop we'll stop downloading their music online. We won't watch their videos anymore. If you people want to boycott, let's just go to the extreme of boycotting them. How ridiculous is this? Because you don't like something, or because it doesn't sit with you, with your agenda, now you're going to boycott it. They tried boycotting this LGBTQ or whatever they are. I don't know. They got some initials or whatever. I've seen some of these people on TV, let me tell you. There's some funny looking people, to say the least. We try to love everybody. But, some of these things that they think about are ridiculous. They tried boycotting Chick-fil-A because they give money to groups that were against LGBTQ or whatever it is. It's their money. They can give to whoever they want. We don't have to like everybody. It's a sin of what this group stands for, LGBTQ or whatever they are. They're sinners. They go against our Christian principles. But yet, we love everybody equally. Just because we don't approve of your lifestyle, don't mean that we're going to boycott you because we don't believe in it. You got to embrace everybody. If somebody passes a law or does something that you don't like, what's boycotting going to solve? You're just going to make, you're going to make the state of Georgia more famous now. Just like you did with Chick-fil-A. Last time I went by a Chick-fil-A, there were so many cars in line and inside, I couldn't even get in there. So what's that telling you? You're just giving them free advertising is all you're doing. So, all it's doing is just making them more money to give to the groups that are against you. So what really it doesn't really serve any purpose for you. I don't think so anyways, but hey, who am I? I'm just a Christian minister. I believe in what I believe. You can believe in what you believe in, but don't go out and say, well, just because you're a Republican, I seen this on TV, because I'm a Republican, I need to be reprogrammed. No, you need to be reprogrammed. You need more Jesus. More Jesus. Less bickering. Let's say our closing prayer. O Lord our God, what sins have I this day committed in word, deed, or thought? Forgive me. For you are gracious and you love all people. Grant me peaceful and undisturbed sleep. Send me your guardian angel to protect and guard me from every evil. For you are the guardian of our souls and bodies, and to you I ascribe glory. To the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, now and forever, until the ages of ages. Amen. Amen, everybody. People need it with this bickering. There we go, right there. There's what we need. A little bit more Jesus. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he made. The seventh day. We should all go to church on the seventh day, Sunday. I know some people go to church on Saturday or Sunday. The weekends were made for relaxing, enjoying Jesus. We should enjoy Jesus every day. When you get up in the morning, pray. When you eat, pray. At night, when you go to bed, pray. I know sometimes, we get busy and we forget. We all do. I do sometimes too. I forget to thank the Lord for all we have. Because me and my wife, we've got a beautiful life. We've got 2 beautiful grandkids that we have custody of. They've got a better life now than what they would have if they lived with their parents. Maybe someday their parents will get their life together. Who knows? Until then, we're going to take care of them. This is Mark, the Controversial Christian. I'm signing off for today. We love you. We want you to love Jesus. Try to get along with everybody. Just because somebody's different than you, don't mean you can't try to get along with them. Whether they're black, white, red, gay, straight, maybe they're transsexual or whatever, Maybe you see from their point of view a little bit, or if you're, on the other side of the fence and you say, well, that guy's a Christian, but he doesn't believe because, I have different beliefs than him. We're all God's creatures. So act like it. Try to get along with your fellow man. I know it's hard sometimes. You got to bite your tongue, or people. Well, I'm offended by this or offended by that. Hey, if you're offended by it, if you're offended by something that I do, or I was wearing my Trump mask, and this guy said, "Well, I'm offended by your mask." Well, don't look at my mask. If you're offended by Trump 2020, keep America great. If you're offended by keeping America great, then you got the problem, not me. You just say, I don't like your mask. Being offended by something that I believe in offends me. So, being offensive, you shouldn't really be offensive towards any, just suggest to them. Well, anyways, I'm signing off. I love you. Have a blessed day, everyone.